Title: The Angel of Death, The True Story of Beverley Allitt. In the tranquil town of Grantham, Lincolnshire, 1991 was supposed to be just another year. However, the events that unfolded at the Grantham and Kesteven Hospital's children's ward turned it into a year of unimaginable horror, revealing the sinister actions of a nurse who would later be known as the Angel of Death. Beverley Allitt appeared to be a dedicated nurse, but beneath her seemingly compassionate exterior lurked a darkness driven by a need for attention and validation. Her journey to becoming a notorious serial killer began innocuously enough. As a teenager, Allitt exhibited behaviors typical of Munchausen's syndrome, feigning illnesses and injuries to draw attention. When these behaviors failed to produce the desired reactions, she escalated to harming others. Despite her troubling history, which included smearing feces on walls and frequent absenteeism, Allitt was employed on a temporary 6-month contract at the understaffed Grantham and Kesteven Hospital in 1991. The children's ward, with its minimal staff, became the perfect stage for her deadly intentions. On February 21, 1991, 7-month-old Liam Taylor was admitted with a chest infection. Allitt reassured his parents that he was in capable hands, persuading them to rest at home. When they returned, they found their baby had suffered a respiratory emergency, allegedly under Allitt's vigilant care. Liam's condition deteriorated rapidly when left alone with her, resulting in severe brain damage. His heartbroken parents made the agonizing decision to remove him from life support, with the cause of death recorded as heart failure. No suspicions were raised about Allitt's role. Her next victim was Timothy Hardwick, an 11-year-old with cerebral palsy, admitted after an epileptic fit on March 5, 1991. Alone with Allitt, Timothy suffered a cardiac arrest from which he could not be revived. An autopsy attributed his death to epilepsy, and once again, Allitt escaped scrutiny. The pattern of inexplicable emergencies continued. Kaylee Desmond, a 1-year-old recovering from a chest infection, suffered a sudden cardiac arrest on March 8, 1991, while in Allitt's care. Although revived and transferred to another hospital, an odd puncture hole and an air bubble near the mark were discovered, yet no investigation ensued. On March 20, 1991, 5-month-old Paul Crampton was admitted with a non-serious bronchial infection. Under Allitt's care, he experienced severe insulin shock thrice, narrowly surviving each episode. Transferred to another hospital, he was found to have high insulin levels, but his survival was deemed fortunate rather than suspicious. As the incidents escalated, 5-year-old Bradley Gibson suffered unexpected cardiac arrests on March 21, 1991, but survived thanks to the resuscitation team. High insulin levels in his blood remained unexplained, and Allitt continued her spree unchecked. By March 22, 1991, Allitt's next victim, 2-year-old Yik Hung Chan, turned blue and required oxygen. His symptoms were misattributed to a fall, and he recovered after being transferred. The lack of suspicion persisted. Twins Katie and Becky Phillips, only 2 months old, became Allitt's next targets. Becky, admitted on April 1, 1991, died suddenly at home after an uneventful hospital stay. Katie, readmitted as a precaution, suffered multiple attacks under Allitt's care, resulting in severe brain damage and broken ribs. Ironically, grateful for saving Katie's life, her mother asked Allitt to be Katie's godmother. The death of 15-month-old Claire Peck on April 22, 1991, finally raised alarms. An asthmatic needing a breathing tube, Claire suffered 2 cardiac arrests in Allitt's care, the second proving fatal. An inquiry initiated by Dr. Nelson Porter revealed suspiciously high potassium levels and led to police involvement. Superintendent Stuart Clifton's investigation uncovered a pattern of high insulin doses, missing nursing logs, and tampered records, all pointing to Allitt. On July 26, 1991, she was charged with multiple counts of murder and attempted murder. Despite her denials, the evidence was overwhelming. Prosecutors demonstrated Allitt's presence during each suspicious episode. The unexplained insulin and potassium levels, and puncture marks on the victims. Professor Roy Meadows' testimony about Munchausen's syndrome and Munchausen's by proxy further highlighted Allitt's dangerous psychological profile. After a 2-month trial, Allitt was convicted on May 23, 1993, receiving 13 life sentences. The severity of her crimes led to her incarceration at Rampton Secure Hospital, where she continued her attention-seeking behavior. Allitt's case left an indelible mark on the Grantham and Kesteven Hospital, resulting in the closure of the maternity unit. Despite her incarceration, the horror of her actions remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind a facade of care and compassion.